The laughter stopped, and silence shivered throughout the theme park. The crowd gathered around the scenes, and the painted faces of smiling families were turned to horror as they stood and stared. Sirens echoed through the summer air, and Ashton's staff tried desperately to calm the public. At the time, the papers were calling it the worst disaster to ever have occurred on the theme park ride, and I dare not question the truth of that statement. For although 6 years have now passed since the day, no explanation had been uncovered for what caused 8 people to fall to their deaths. Instead, a series of strange legends had built themselves around the ride, and as such, the truth of whatever happened will likely never be properly known. The ride in question was Heaven's Fall, a monstrous drop tower piercing the sky above the World of Adventure's theme park. Built upon dark religious imagery, the ride was said to resemble the fall of an angel cast out from heaven above. Riders were slowly lifted skywards, then after an uncomfortable pause at the summit were dropped back to earth at the mercy of gravity. The ride was painted in a deep, glistening black, and was adorned with sculptures of dying angels, their wings broken and their arms reaching forever to heaven. The accident happened on the first and only time the ride was used. It was mid-morning, and yet the queue line was already bursting with people, all waiting to try the newest attraction which dominated the skyline of the park. Before long, the gondola was filled with 8 nervous riders, and each pulled on their overhead restraint and covered their shoulders to keep them in place. After this, Heaven's Fall clanked and whirled into the action, slowly propelling the ill-omened riders hundreds of feet into the air. It was frightening to think of what happened next. As the gondola paused at the dizzying summit, the restraints which covered the riders' shoulders lifted upward in their original places. It was as if it had been mechanically unlocked, and had returned to the previous overhead position that they should have returned to when the ride had completed. The riders screamed, grasping to pull the restraints down, and yet finding them firmly locked into place. The ride operator hammered at buttons, urgently trying to stop the ride as terrified witnesses ran from the queue. Nothing could be done. The ride dropped to earth as it was programmed to do, and the 8 people were thrown forwards, hard down onto the hard concrete below them. Today, Heaven's Falls are resting and silent, still standing amid busy rides and attractions, and cordoned off from the rest of the park. It has become a still, gruesome memorial of those who have lost their lives on its opening day. To some, its appearance in the park is akin to a graveyard obsolete, and the carven angels which decorate it, thus reaching to the sky in mournful remembrance. I will admit that I have something of an obsession with Heaven's Falls. I was not aware of the time of the incident, but when I first saw the rusted remains peering at me when I went to the park, that hideous ride infected my mind. There is something about it, how it stands apart from other attractions, how it speaks of dark and unsolved things, how it inspires such fear and fascination in all who know of its terrible accident. Since I discovered Heaven's Fall, I've collected everything that I could find surrounding its history and its accident. I have accessed countless newspaper cuttings and purchased maps and unsaid souvenirs of the ride. And I even own a rare promotional poster showing the Lucifer Exquisite angel falling to earth against the silhouette of the park. Yet what fascinates me most about Heaven's Falls are the strange stories that are told of the ride. After all, each would put in trust of amusement rides. We strap ourselves in and challenge them to scare us, longing for greater and bigger thrills while it's safe in the knowledge it's only a ride. But when something goes wrong, that illusion of safety is immediately shattered. Colorful paint and bountiful effects can no longer hide the gray, cold machinery underneath. Most of the stories about the ride are nothing but the creation of idle minds, but it is not such legends that interest me. Instead, I have found a number of personal beliefs in which all seem to be based on a few distinctive tales. First of these, and the most common before the attraction had reached completion, a range of promotional advertisements were released to spread awareness of the ride. Within days, fundamentalist groups had spoken against what they deemed an objectionable imagery for the new attraction. To them, the representation of falling angels was extremely dominated in nature. And many campaigned for the theme to be changed. Some even went as far to claim that such ride was evil and urged the public not to visit the park. Further this, finances had previously been arrested for breaching the walls of the closed theme park and attempting to hang banners on the ride. As such, the first legend of Heaven's Fall was formed in the minds of the public craving answers. Some believed that the ride had been tampered with, and the accident was in fact orchestrated by a madman blind on religious fury. This belief was later strengthened by the family of one of the deceased riders. They trusted not in the descendants of those who called the ride its theme evil, and publicly affirmed their own belief that the bastards probably made it go wrong themselves. A similar theory and darker motive, yet to some it is closer to the truth than any other. The creator of the ride, Mr. Nicholas Berninger, was thought by some to have purposely programmed the restraints to fail. It was no accident, a contact from the industry told me. Berninger knew it was going to happen. This belief was strangely shared by many who worked in the field of amusements, where Nicholas Berninger, often known as Radical. It was said that he wanted his ride to be infamous, that he wanted the fear people felt while riding the ride to be real, not falsely manufactured. In a rare interview that is on cassette tape, Berninger says that his last raised creation is not supposed to be mild entertainment. I want you to fear for your life up there. The further legend about the ride is more metaphysical in its nature, ignoring Berninger as possibly of willful tampering. Someone believed that Heaven's Falls truly was an unlucky attraction. Again, this was most likely born from the speeches of religious preaching about the ride, but also seemed to have existed before such fantasies even knew of its existence. Construction workers reported nausea, as some felt that they were being watched as they were forced to build the new attraction. Furthermore, odd things were said to occur on the site. Tools would disappear, and workers were plagued by hideous dreams of such nature that dared not speak of content. On more than one occasion, the team found bolts that had firmly fastened to had come undone during the night, and at least one worker had quit his job after seeing something he refused to tell of. In recent years, the story gained ground once again after scheduled work was carried out on the ride. It had been 3 years since the accident, and the park had decided that suitable answers would not be reached for the cause of the deaths. Therefore, the ride was set to be reopened, but further malfunctions forced it to be abandoned. It is unknown exactly what these failures were, but it is thought that the experts were left baffled after a series of technological apprehensions rendered this ride unsafe to work on. When this information reached the public, earlier rumors of bizarre events led some to once more label the attraction as closed. I dare not comment on such beliefs myself, but I will admit that feeling something of grotesque cruelty about the ride is a part of what first attracted me to it, how it watches over the rest of the park, a gloomful imprint upon the sky. In many days I have some families approaching members of staff and asking them why the ride is not open for them. Some even try to find their way to it, opening up their colorful maps and wondering why it's not signposted. Of course, should one inspect the pathways close to the ride, the original queue line is still visible, now blocked off by hedges and clumps of tall foliage. Even so, visit the park at the end of the season, and when the trees and bushes have lost their leaves, and the angel sculptures of Heaven's Fall can be seen peer out from behind the dead branches. In this way, Heaven's Fall is an immortality. World Adventures is a family park, and the scent of candy floss fills the air once we walk along the pathways of color and music. It is home to rides both thrilling and tame, and forever attracts large crowds of people addicted to its pure and enjoyable atmosphere. Heaven's Falls is thus out of place, and its dark aesthetics and symbolism are a far cry from the other attractions in the park. Indeed, I have wondered many times why the ride was not pulled down, for its existence tarnishes and blames aura for the otherwise rainbow-colored theme park. As I write this, however, I have but yesterday gained new information about what is happening to Heaven's Falls. It frightens me somewhat to bring it to mind, but my heart is also flutter with sensations of the greatest curiosity. For it seems that the reason to the ride was abandoned due to excessive legal red tape. Last winter, however, the case of the accident was finally closed, and all remaining legal urgency was lifted from the park and its infamous ride. What this means is the greatest importance to me. For when the park reopens in exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow's date, Heaven's Falls will be reopened with it. It will be the first time the ride had been used since its opening day over 60 years ago. The hedges and trees will be cleared away, and the queue of the notorious ride will once be again brimming with people. What is going to happen? The park must be satisfied. The ride is safe. But with something as rich in humor and fear as that towering ride named Heaven's Fall, it has all but impossible to be sure. But there is one thing I know for certain about about the reopening of Heaven's Fall. I will be there. I will arrive at such plentiful time as to make sure that I am the first in line. Therefore, when I am admitted as the monstrous attraction, I will be the first to sit in its seat since the time 8 riders were dropped to their deaths. It is possible, of course, that nothing will happen. The ride will work as it's supposed to, and I, along with 7 others, will have survived the most legendary of attractions. Yet, there is always a chance, no matter how small it might appear of the masses, that the stories told about the ride are true. Either way, I have to know. Hey guys, it's Dare. So this is going to be the 9th video of my Oktoberfest series. Basically, this is when I post a video every day for Halloween. I know I didn't give a really good update for this, and when the first one was posted, it was a cover, and I put everything in the description, which no one goddamn reads the frickin' description, so no one probably knows. Basically, I'm going to try to post a video every day. As you probably have noticed, I didn't get one out every day. But I will definitely post for and make up for it when I do miss an upload. Last week was covers. The theme was Halloweenish type covers. And then this week is going to be Creepypasta readings, which is, they're not like creepypastas like Jeff the Killer or Tiki Toby or something like that. They're just stories that I find interesting and creepy, and Heaven's Falls happened to be one of them. I'll put the link to the story in the description if you would like to read it yourself and not hear me mumble over words. And the next one that I should be reading, I'm still thinking, but I think I have one from I'm going to be reading for next time. I'm filming them all at once so I can get it done and over with, and, yeah, I'm really excited for Halloween, and, it's gonna be a really nice time. And, I really, guys, hope you enjoy the videos that I'm going to be posting, and, yeah, it just means a lot to me, that you guys are watching and enjoying. I know the covers weren't the greatest, but I tried my best, and I think I've improved a bit than when I first started doing covers on my channel, but either way, yeah. Also, if it sounds like I'm losing my voice, I am sick. I am pretty sick, and, I'm just trying to get things done, and, I'm working as hard as I can, as no matter how sick I am, I'm doing this for you guys because I love you guys. And, yeah. Sorry there's no music in the background of this video. Editing work has been hard because, again, I just said I'm sick and I'm tired and I want to get it done and I want to make sure it's good for you guys. But music is hard to add. And, yeah, that's it. I want to start filming the other ones now. And, I hope you enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was kind of eerie and spooky, and drop towers scare the shit out of me because heights are my worst fear ever. So I thought the story was perfect. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.